The proclamation of the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to his disciples, "When the Son of Man comes in his glory, escorted by all the angels of heaven, he will sit upon his royal throne, and all the nations will be assembled before him. Then he will separate them into two groups, as a shepherd separates sheep from goats. The sheep he will place on his right hand, the goats on his left. The king will say to those on his right, 'Come, you have my Father's blessing. Inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me food. I was thirsty, and you gave me drink. I was a stranger, and you welcomed me, naked, and you clothed me. I was ill, and you comforted me, in prison, and you came to visit me.' Then the just will ask him, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you, or see you thirsty and give you drink? When did we welcome you away from home, or clothe you in your nakedness? When did we visit you when you were ill or in prison?' The king will answer them, 'I assure you, as often as you did it for one of my least brothers, you did it for me.' Then he will say to those on his left, 'Out of my sight, you condemned, into that everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. I was hungry, and you gave me no food. I was thirsty, and you gave me no drink. I was away from home, and you gave me no welcome, naked, and you gave me no clothing. I was ill and in prison, and you did not come to comfort me.' Then they in turn will ask, 'Lord, when did we see you hungry or thirsty or away from home or naked or ill or in prison and not attend you in your needs?' He will answer them, 'I assure you, as often as you neglected to do it to one of these least ones, you neglected to do it to me.' These will go off to eternal punishment, and the just to eternal life." The Gospel of the Lord.
Our Gospel for this solemnity of Christ the King comes from Matthew, the famous scene of the Last Judgment. Okay, please don't be afraid. Don't turn off your TV sets when you hear Last Judgment. Oh, the end of the world, the coming of the King. Well, of course, there's an element of fear. But if you have been following our reflections from the first reading up to now, we have been emphasizing Jesus, the King who is shepherd. According to Ezekiel, the King shepherd who loves tenderly, who will tend the sheep personally, who will look after the sick, the lost, the wounded, who will defend them in the face of dangers. This is our King. But this King who is loving is also judge. And in the second reading, we see the destiny of this shepherd king. He passed through his passion and death so that by the ultimate act of love, the laying down of one's life for his sheep, he will rise from the dead and assume all authority in heaven and earth. And he will subjugate all his enemies, especially sin and death, for our sake, for the sake of the flock that he loves. He offers his life, and now he wants us to share his victory. We are his offering, his kingdom, to be offered to the Father, so that the Father may be all in all. Now, this line of reflection, the King who is shepherd and who loves tenderly unto death, is pursued in the Gospel. The opening of the scene of the Last Judgment is quite grandiose. It's a scene of grandeur. You have here the Son of God coming in glory, escorted by all the angels of heaven. And he will be seated on his royal throne, and all the nations will be assembled before him. And then, according to the gospel, like a shepherd, he will judge. Like a shepherd. And so, the loving shepherd who lays down his life for the sheep now acts as judge. The king is a shepherd judge. And how does he judge? The way of the shepherd. By separating the sheep from the goats, the moment of truth, the moment of judgment, coming from the loving heart of the shepherd. Now, who are the sheep? Who will belong to the true sheep? Who will belong to the kingdom of the shepherd king? Based on the account, those who loved. Those who gave food to the hungry, drink to the thirsty, clothing to the naked, those who visited the sick and those in prison. The shepherd king is present in the lowly ones. This is his kingdom. A kingdom whose authority is in lowliness, whose authority is found in littleness. And in this kingdom, love reigns supreme. In this kingdom, the most important are the poor, the hungry, the naked, the dispossessed. We have here a shepherd king whose authority is found in vulnerable love and in his solidarity with those which the world considers unremarkable, people that could be forgotten, people that could be erased. The greatness of our shepherd king is that he does not only care for them, he is in them. He is totally united with them. And where you see them, you see him, and you see his kingdom. In the love that is evoked in the hearts of people whenever they encounter a poor person, and they respond to the call of the shepherd king. I thirst. Give me your love. What a wonderful kingdom. And we hope this kingdom will spread and influence not only minds and consciences, but also structures, policies, systems. This is the kingdom that we need. This is the kingdom of the true king. But then, as we said, this shepherd king is also a judge. And in this kingdom, how are we to be judged? This is not a harsh judgment, but it is a judgment of love. And the norm is love for the poor. Those who refuse to love have been judged by their very lack of love. In the kingdom of love, the lack of love has no place. Please let us remove from our minds a picture of Jesus who is harsh and vindictive. No. Our shepherd king is pure love. And so in his kingdom, the failure to love is judged not by a harsh shepherd, but by the very lack of love that we have exhibited. Now, this is simply fair. This is simply just. Okay? And so, dear brothers and sisters, love judges the lack of love. It is not God rejoicing that some people are thrown out of his kingdom. No. But it is the failure of people to respond to the call of love that is very much present if only we believe that His kingdom is in the midst of the lowly ones. Dear brothers and sisters, the invitation is here before us. Will you follow this type of king? Will you rejoice in being part of His kingship? The way of humble love, the way of dying for love, the way of caring for the sick, the lowly, the wounded, the lost, the hungry. There is a consistency in the readings. The kingdom is all about love. Let us be part of that kingdom. Let us be considered sheep of the shepherd king in the quality of love that we exhibit in our world. There are many, many ways of living now, even now, the ideals of this kingdom of Jesus the Good Shepherd. There are many ways, and I'm inviting you to reflect on your own experience and the experiences of many people and be creative in continuing to spread this kingship of Jesus based on love and solidarity, especially with the poor. Let me just recount this. You know the Pondo ng Pinoy, which is a national program started by our Cardinal Gaudencio Rosales. Little acts of kindness symbolized by the 25 centavos that you gather every day in order to make active your love for the poor. You save not for yourself, not for loads, not for shopping, but you save for others. Now, once the good Cardinal and I and some other friends were invited to have dinner with the family, a simple dinner in a simple house. And the two grandchildren of the owner of the house loved the Pondo ng Pinoy. And so their father called them and said, "You know who this cardinal is? You know the Pondo ng Pinoy?" And they said, "Yes." "Do you like the Pondo ng Pinoy?" "Yes, I love giving 25 centavos, said one girl. And the father said, "Here he is in person, Cardinal Rosales, the founder of Pondo ng Pinoy." And the two children approached the cardinal, but the cardinal added immediately, "Jesus founded Pondo ng Pinoy," he said. When you give 25 centavos, pray to Jesus. Tell Him, "Jesus, I love you." And let this 25 centavos be an expression of your love for the poor. Oh, I was so touched. I said, this is the kingdom of Jesus. This is the meaning of His universal reign. Humble, hidden, but true love, forgetting the self, all for the sake of the poor, who are the most special in the love and kingship of Jesus. The word has been exposed. Let us now fulfill it.